So it's been 6 months since I moved off of my position and now have retired, or maybe semi-retired. So I'm glad to be back to give a thought of the day. And in many ways, it's been a great 6 months. Not because I like doing the job I was doing, but because my wife and I got to do a lot of things and travel. But the other part of that is I get to come back here a couple of days. And so it's I never left. I feel part of this community and part of this family. But I did, as I said, quite a bit of travel around the world, some trips of a lifetime. I did a lot of reading, I did a lot of walking, more thinking, more walking, and certainly did a couple of retreats to dive further into my spirituality. And through all those 6 months, I kept coming back to thinking about Homeboy and all those years I've been with you all. And Homeboy is this beautiful community of kinship. We call it kinship. We talk about passion. And really, the things I've been focusing more on is the non-judgment and the non-scapegoating of others. And that's what we stand for. And in my readings of my spiritual, on the spiritual side, I read a lot of Richard Rohr. He has a daily meditation and lots of books. And he's friends with Father Greg. And I've had a chance to talk to Richard a couple times over the last couple months. And Richard has this line where he talks about not so much a definition of faith, but what's the opposite of faith. And sometimes we got to think about that. And many people would say, well, the opposite of faith is doubt. But Richard says the opposite of faith is certainty, is certitude. And actually think about that. I think it makes a lot of sense. We as humans sort of become really in love with our own ideas, and we feel we're certain, we got an opinion. And when we have an opinion and don't provide space for somebody else's opinion, then we get pushy, we get angry. And I think about all the violence worldwide across the millennia. It's really about two groups, two countries, two whatever, sort of having a very firm, certain opinion, and then violence happens and anger happens. And so, as violence and anger happens, comes the scapegoat. And in our society, there's far too much scapegoating. A lot of the words we use around here is we demonize. We see people have been demonized, people have been forgotten. And what Homeboy represents is kind of the opposite of that. Opposite is the scapegoat, opposite of demonizing, which then gets to faith, right? And so what I've come to experience all these years is the lack of certitude really along this community, which is good. And I think about it and I contrast that to my career before Homeboy, working in the business world and running companies. I was full of certitude. I was sort of a hard charger. But being here at Homeboy's allowed me to kind of sort of soften that and take a step back. And when someone's saying something I don't agree with, I've kind of learned just to sort of sit and think about that. And what I've noticed is you all walk through these doors and looking to improve your life, and you come out of a really tough environment and it's angry for all the right reasons. You all can come in with some good part of lack of certitude or certainty, which allows you to have faith that being in this community is going to help. And so I just want to say thank you for teaching me about faith, and thank you for teaching me about not being so certain in life, and that I'm glad to be back home.